She is such a fan of the Dalles downtown now, and we just need more people to park their cars and walk through it and see now.
Yeah.
And that has been something that's been created the last 5 years.
Yeah.
And so much work by individuals.
Yeah.
And blood, sweat, and tears, and I'm just so proud of everyone. Yeah.
Oh, cool. All right. Welcome to the CCCNews Podcast. Today, we're thrilled to welcome someone who's making waves in the Gorge, Bets Seltzer. Bets is a passionate operator behind Farmstand in the Gorge, the beloved organic farm-to-table market and cafe originally founded in Hood River. It's now also serving the heart of the Dalles. She's been running the Hood River location for about 10 years, somewhere in there, and recently opened the second Farmstand downtown with the help of a lot of family and friends in the restored Chronicle building on Federal Street. And we've just seen a total transformation down there on that entire block through this process. And Bets and her family also transformed that building into a vibrant wellness and community hub. You've recently brought in River City Saloon, and you've got the Alley Coffee and that kind of thing. You're the mother of four, right? And you live here in the Dalles, Bets, and is deeply engaged in the broader community planning here in the Dalles. I think you currently serve on the Federal Street Plaza project aimed at enhancing public gatherings. So thanks for joining us here, Bets.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. It really is been transformational watching since you guys took possession of that building back in 2022. And can you kind of just take us to the beginning of this story at that time and kind of this epic jump into business in the downtown, the Dalles?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like the story kind of begins before I was born with my grandfather and father transitioning our farm and doofer to organic in the 70s. Yeah. And then my dad went from trying to sell his organic product to other people's organic product, and that turned into Azure Standard, which is the largest independently owned health food distribution in the country. I believe they're in all 50 states now. Yeah. And health food and wellness and living has just been in my blood. And when you probably grew up in it then, right? Yeah, absolutely. I grew up in the warehouse and never had holidays. Holidays were inventory time. I'd be up counting bags on pallets. But actually, I got really interested in doing retail about 12 years ago. And my dad and I started looking for our location in the Dalles. And that's when I believe Matthew Klebe was doing Main Street. And him and a realtor, they took us around. We looked at the old JCPenney's building. Yeah. We actually toured the Chronicle, but the Chronicle was in it. Right. So we just toured that little empty space in the middle. Mm-hmm. And we looked at the Griffith Motors building. Actually, I think we even made an offer on that, and it did not happen. And so that's when we turned our attention to Hood River, and I started there at the Farmstand and kind of grew that. But I've wanted to do something like this in the Dalles for such a long time. And but
you would have been like, what, 18, 19 years old back at that point in time? Am I close?
Probably 19, yeah.
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 Oh, my gosh.
Well, I think that it was very much meant to be, though, because the changes that I've seen in the Dalles over the course of the last 10 years has been really conducive to what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
As far as really, you don't want to bring a need fulfillment that's not there. Right. And I don't know that the need for more attention to health and wellness and access to those sort of products and environment and education was there in the same way 10 years ago.
Gotcha.
I think that it is something that has been evolving in the 70s when my grandpa turned our farm a transition to organic.
Yeah.
It was very much before that brand name meant anything. Mm-hmm. And my dad's been trying to sell organic products for years, and that the reason why it's been growing has been because the need has been growing. Folks really are starting to turn their attention to preventative medicine and health, which is quality food and supplements and getting to a place where you're not going to the emergency room.
Right, being proactive,
exactly.
right, and really watching what we put in our bodies.
Yes.
You know, like the analogy I've always heard is you wouldn't put bad gas in your car. Why would you put bad fuel in your body?
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, and then, like I said, I've wanted to do this in the Dalles for a really long time. I was living in Hood River at the time, and so my focus was there. And when I wanted to buy a house and settle down with my family, the Dalles is the option to do that. And so I did that, and I just felt the need for myself. And it really motivated me, and it was just an impulsive thing. Driving down 3rd Street, I was like, I remember that building, called up Brian Lauterbach, and I think we got the ball rolling within a month.
Yeah.
It was very, very both quick and slow process. And we tried to save as much money as we could by doing things ourselves. We were in there doing all of the demo, scraping all of the carpet glue off. It was probably the most exhausting emotionally and physically, because I am still young, and I was young, and you don't know what all it entails as far as property improvements and getting things up to code. And so, my budget was very off. The city was lovely, and we got it worked out in the end. But the most fulfilling thing about the whole project has just been the reception, and that is very much the community. I'm just delighted.
Well, and it wouldn't be there if you hadn't done a great job. Like I myself have gone down and I obviously eaten at the cafe multiple times, and it's wonderful. It really is. Like the food is just super high quality. I love your Italian sandwich, the soups of the day. I mean, there's just a lot to be said, and it's a nice, clean environment. I love the grocery. It's pretty great. But I want to go back a little bit, just because you say you're kind of driving down the Dalles, and I know when we first talked about this, when you first were getting started, that there was kind of like this idea of hey, we can want to put our eggs in one basket here, and not all in one basket, but put our eggs in the Dalles here. We've got family growing up here, kids coming up, and what better thing to invest in your own community? And the Dalles, whether people get it or not, they scored when you guys decided to do this. But let me take you back to that point in time, when you were. I mean, obviously you had this entrepreneurial spirit. I mean, that started way back, and I'm guessing maybe your dad kind of put you that direction.
Oh yeah.
So and he is obviously too. He was willing to take some big risks and try some things in his career, obviously, and it's worked out. I'm sure there were, as anything in business, you kind of zig and zag and you find your way. Kind of personally, I know for me, when we were starting this business here, it was a huge deal. It weighs on you, and you got to think about it. And so personally, can you kind of tell me what you were going through? What did you have to do to take stock of things to come to the decision? Was it? I know you got a lot of family members involved in that kind of thing, but was it the property? Was it what? Can you tell me about that vetting process for you?
Yes. Oh, it just felt right. And I know that it was initially a grocery store. And it feels like the layout was that. And when I walked through it, and it was all the office space, which you're very familiar with because you worked there.
I did.
It felt like it was meant to be. And this is the right spot for us. And I just cared so much about community building, and I felt really inspired by other downtown business owners, especially there are so many of them that have been here for a long time, and I've gotten to know other ones that have started around the same time or post-COVID. And the downtown really has been my inspiration as far as what I have wanted to do with that block. I could just see it, that there's starting to be so much life on 2nd Street, and 3rd Street has the same potential, and we can just grow and expand our downtown into something that can give me the same sense of community that I felt during my time in Hood River 10 years ago. And I don't even know that it feels quite the same way anymore.
Yeah.
I think I was kind of there during the sweet spot.
Yeah.
But I know that there are just real people here. And I've just been so delighted to find that. That's probably been the most fulfilling part of this whole project.
Cool.
Between the downtown folks and just folks in the community and folks that I've met through the business.
Yeah. One of the aspects that I love about that transformation down there, first of all, is you put some tables out on the sidewalks and made that really inviting. And then as the city, I'm sure, went through their planning, they created those bump outs, which, for lack of a better term, it's essentially where the sidewalk kind of curves out into the road a little bit at the crosswalks. And that is a great little calming device for traffic, kind of slow them down a bit. And I think it invites that pedestrian-friendly kind of atmosphere. And we're seeing that a little bit more in the downtown district. So
I wish the city had put them in. They made me put them in.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
to get them back, with my work with the Plaza Committee, I've been really pushing for them to do those bulb outs around the plaza.
Yeah.
Which they get to pay for this time.
Right. Yeah, fair is fair.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, but it does so much for slowing down traffic. I hated the expense of them, but I love what they do to downtowns. And I spend a lot of time in Portland as well, and just creating the incentive psychologically to kind of slow down and see what's there. And I also kind of considered that in the painting of the building. Everything downtown for years and years has just been beige, and it's been a little freeway, and people speed through and they don't look left or right. And I love the changes there too, because there is so much to see downtown. I really think that the marketing that people put into downtown for their businesses, I would love to get together with some other business owners and do marketing not just for specific businesses, but for the downtown as a whole, because it is so walkable and shoppable and a delight to explore. My mom lives in Duffer, and I brought her to the Dalles like 6 months ago, and I said, no, you don't understand. It's not just we stop at Susan's to get something mended and go to an antique stop.
Right.
We're going to park and we're going to explore. And she had no idea, and she's been here for 40 years.
Right. Your mom, Kimberly?
Yes.
Right? Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I got to meet her at Josh's party. What a wonderful person.
She is such a fan of the Dalles downtown now, and we just need more people to park their cars and walk through it and see now. Yeah. And that has been something that's been created the last 5 years.
Yeah.
And so much work by individuals.
Yeah.
And blood, sweat, and tears, and I'm just so proud of everyone. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Well, you mentioned something there in passing that and we did too, about your position on the Federal Street Plaza Committee.
Yes.
Kind of in helping getting that designed and going. For those of you who don't know about it, the Federal Street Plaza is a plan that's going through that's going to close Federal Street from 2nd to 1st Street there at the transportation hub and that kind of thing. And there's a whole plan for that. So tell me a little bit about why you got involved in that, and then what maybe people can look forward to in the next year and a half when they get that built out.
Yes. Well, I got approached by Mr. Mays, and he's chairing the committee, and he was trying to put together a committee of folks that would feel very involved and incentivized and have good ideas. And I obviously was just doing my own development, and also I'm on Federal Street,
right?
And I believe there were 6 of us on the committee, and going from, okay, everybody sketch your own versions of what you would like this to be. Everybody list out the elements that you would like to see. It was definitely not what I was expecting. The input was so heard. We've been doing this for about a year, just progressively going from what we want to see to initial concepts to more permanent concepts. And we got approval from City Council, and I think it's going to really transform the Dalles. The inspiration behind it is to create a living room for downtown the Dalles.
Yeah.
And I was telling my committee members, when I was a teenager and we wanted to hang out somewhere, the only place to hang out was we would go to Fred Meyer's and sit in their furniture section. And then they took that away.
Yeah.
So we're going to need something new.
Right.
And
I've done that too when I took my kids shopping. I've spent a moment or two on those couches.
Oh, yeah. Back in the day, 7 p.m., Fred Meyer's furniture section was where it was at. No wonder they took it away.
That's funny.
But it is beautiful. The designs are beautiful. I think that there was so much intentionality behind paying homage to the elements, the river and the basalt and our the nature around us, and the Native American influences that our town has, and the history. Everyone's going to be so delighted by it. Yeah, it's such a good investment in our downtown. It's going to very much energetically transform.
I think so. Having that gathering space, that place that people can coalesce around, have events or music, or it just creates a lot of opportunity that doesn't currently exist. Yeah, that's really neat. Well, thank you for being a part of that. That's really great. Can you tell me a little bit about being a woman in business? What's your experience been like, and do you have mentors out there, or other folks that you look to as you're going? I mean, you've been doing it for my goodness, what are you, more than a decade now? Right? So, yeah, what can you tell me a little bit about that?
I think that for me, it's been more about being young in business than being a woman in business. I think that was my biggest hurdle initially. And that was just kind of a management, getting to know the industry. My biggest mentor is definitely my dad. He'll pick up the phone for me, and it's really nice having somebody that close to me that I can just say, I have this problem, or here's this HR thing, or here is this code thing. Like, he's done it all. Someone else who's been a wonderful help to me throughout, specifically the Dalles development, has been Mary Hanlon. She has picked up the phone for me and given me some good pointers and advice throughout the whole project as well. And Rose Mays, the mayor's wife, has also a lot of experience in small business development. And she's just been lovely. So I would say throughout this process, it has definitely been them. And then I definitely couldn't have done it without, if you pop in Farmstand in the Dalles, you probably see my brother Zeke. He's general managing, and he usually has his baby strapped to his front because his wife is a teacher, and my sister Sarah general manages Hood River. Okay. And so the three of us are the dream team.
Very good. Yeah, and that led me into my next question about like, you have a fairly large family. How many
Yes.
brothers and sisters do you
There's
have?
11 of us.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I've heard that, I've never worked with family members, but when it does work, I know the conversations I've had with friends and family, it's awesome because you're both have like-minded, your motivations are similar, and it can really, really zing for you. And like, have you found that to be true?
I think that what usually doesn't work when working with family is if you've never worked with family till you're adults. And we were all farm kids. We were expected to start our own businesses, do our own projects. My dad threw things at us. I remember when we were all teenagers, he wanted us to put in an orchard, and he let us have a consultant and rented equipment for us, but we put in a 50-acre orchard by ourselves when we were teenagers.
Really?
And things like planting 4 acres of squash and learning how to process that, or this or the other. And we've been working together since we were kids. And it's kind of disappointing when we have to work with anybody else, because when you have a coworker that you've worked with for 20 years, you don't even have to communicate. There is such a vibe there. So it makes a lot of natural sense to work together as adults, though I can't even imagine never having worked with a sibling and then trying to mix family and business. That seems very difficult as an adult.
Yeah, that's fascinating. Huh? What a wonderful thing. Huh? That's wow. That's 50 acres.
Yeah.
That's no small.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was in charge of the irrigation. So we did above ground irrigation, and I got to pound fence posts for 50 acres.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's like some of my best experiences growing up. My parents would send me out to the wheat farms and like Gillum County, very similar to Dufur and Sherman County and that kind of thing. And so, I was pulling rye. I was doing, picking rock,
picking rocks.
And it teaches you a deep respect, the work ethic that has carried me through on to this day, actually. So I could see that.
There is a work ethic and a follow through that you learn by being a farm kid or working in agriculture that you don't get other places. If it's freezing, if all of a sudden you look at the computer and it says it's going to frost that night, you got to get the crops in, and you're out till 2 a.m. and you don't stop till everything's in. And there's no taking a day off. There's no quitting.
Right.
Like, it is a very educational way to grow up and to learn about work, and things I don't think are nearly as overwhelming to myself and my siblings as they would be to a lot of people, because you just learn to dive in, and there's no choice but to see it through.
And I think that's the other part of that rugged individualism, because who's going to pick it up if I don't?
Yeah.
There's nobody.
Nope.
Right?
Nope.
Like when I worked out at Cottonwood Canyon State Park, I was with the Oregon State Parks back then. The same situation. And hey, what if you forgot to buy nails and bring them in that day? Guess what? Guess who's going? Back to 40 miles or 50 miles to the store.
Yep. Yeah.
So you just kind of the consequences are always there.
Oh, yeah. And learning to figure it out. Like, I remember none of us ever got away with saying, I don't know how.
Yeah.
Because that was always followed with, you can't learn any younger, and then we had to go do it.
Right.
So there was no getting out of anything.
Yeah. Oh, that's fascinating. Well, what a great foundation to be building that business on. And I'm sure you learned a lot in Hood River up on the heights there. What's the address of that store?
It is 1009 12th Street. It's on 12th, right above the hospital. Okay. Yes. Right there. I think that the locations are actually very similar. You have two fast-paced one-way streets. Yeah. I'm on the wrong side of a one-way street both times. Yeah. The traffic going through is very similar, and I think that it is a bit of a business district up there as well too, with the I think our bread and butter is all of the folks that work at the hospital and all of the clinics around there, and downtown. It's local business owners or folks that are working downtown as well.
Great.
Yeah.
So all those lessons transferred somewhat to the Dalles.
Yes, very much so. And also, it's not possible to open something like this to this scale without having a lot of systems and processes in place.
Yes.
And the last 5 years has just been working on getting things honed in the best possible way, not just the way they've always been, which is a very hard way to think.
Right.
And change is very hard to make, especially with both locations. We're open about 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. And it's very hard to tweak things or get everyone in the same room at the same time for a meeting.
Right.
Yeah. But it has been, I don't think it could have happened without location number one.
Right. Yeah. Kind of building the infrastructure, if you will. Yeah. Huh. Fascinating. Get ready, the Dalles. The Sunshine Mill is bringing back the 3rd annual Harvesting Sunshine Festival on Saturday, September 27th from 12 to 6 p.m. The free family-friendly event is your chance to celebrate the grape harvest of sunshine's grown Pinot Noir while soaking in the beauty of fall. All afternoon, enjoy tours of the historic mill with elevator rides all the way to the rooftop every hour on the hour. Grape crushing will be right on site, and there'll be free samples of Sunshine Mill's Pinot Noir, plus wine, food, beer from Freebridge Brewing, and cider from Working Hands Fermentation. A pumpkin patch, a pumpkin bounce house, and face painting with Fairy Godmother's events will also be available. Local vendors, including Terracotta Gorge Company, Herbal Revival, Apothecary, Skookum Outfitters, Moonbeam Daydream, Dusty Boots Flower Farm, Danny's Kitchen Shop, Berries by Felice, Lucky Locks, and the Hat Lab with custom hat building. And don't miss hot dogs and lemonade from the Dry Hollow PTA. Plus, live music will keep the energy going all day long. So mark your calendars. Saturday, September 27th, noon to 6. Come celebrate, sip, shop, dance, and spend the day harvesting sunshine with the Sunshine Mill. So, tell me, where are we at? Are you year number 2? Have you had an anniversary recently?
We got some cake and balloons and had an anniversary the beginning of July. Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes, we're on to year 2 and school started again. One of the most fascinating things about having a business in both Hood River and the Dalles has been to see the different dynamics between kind of tourism and folks that go on a lot of vacations. And just blue collar folks that live and work and their kids have activities in this town. And for holidays and things like that, I actually see, like over Christmas, Thanksgiving, that kind of thing, I actually see a lot of decrease in business in Hood River because everybody's going out of town, and in the Dalles it goes up. And it's just very interesting over the last year to notice kind of the ebb and flow of folks who are snowbirds and folks that have their lives here.
Yeah. Very interesting. That site here in the Dalles, I'm gonna is about 15,000 square feet, last somewhere in there.
Yes.
And the Farmstand takes up about 6,000 of that. Is it somewhere in there?
Closer to 7, 8 with the alleyway. Yeah.
Okay. And so tell me about the other businesses you have in that location.
Yes.
The other folks that are
Yes. So the alleyway is a coffee shop behind, and you could probably tell me this. What did you guys use that for with the newspaper?
I don't remember ever having access to that. Was it?
There was a door going into it. There was some old piles of newspaper and stuff back there. Somebody told me you guys called it the morgue.
Well, let's see. That was in... It's all one floor. The morgue was more towards where you put the new doors in the brown section. That's where I think the morgue, we had them. And so the morgue in newspaper talk is just all the old editions. We kept maybe 1 or 2 or maybe 5 copies of every edition for the past couple of years. And that was our library, if you will, especially if you were writing about a story that we'd written about before. We could go find it in there maybe. But so, but I don't remember. I really don't. And what a beautiful little corridor that is.
Yeah, it was my biggest inspiration when I first walked through the building.
Yeah.
Obviously, it felt like a grocery store, but we walked through that door and held up our flashlights because there was no lighting back there and just looked at this. It's about 96 feet long by 9 feet wide, beautiful alleyway. And it was obviously an old exterior alleyway that somehow got roofed and sprinklered. And I just was like, we have to do something with this. And initially, we wanted to do a cocktail bar in there. And I was like, it just needs to be seen in the light. It needs to be seen more. So Farmstand is running the alleyway coffee shop out of it.
All right.
100% organic coffee, best in town. It's delicious. And actually, we're really excited that we are going to be bringing a cocktail bar in this fall, about 3 nights a week.
Wow.
Yes. And so we're doing both.
Yeah.
And so I love that space and the alleyway. And if you haven't been in to see it, just probably one of the coolest, visually coolest locations.
Right. So if you're headed down Washington Street, it's between Washington, between let's see, be 3rd and 2nd, right there in the middle of the block.
Yep. And you can get to it either direction. If you're shopping at Farmstand, pop in for a coffee, or you can walk down the long alleyway to go get yourself a coffee.
Yeah.
And then we were so lucky to get Joe from River City. As someone who lived in Hood River, I was such a big fan of him and the music he brought to town. And got to hear Claire's podcast the other day. Yes, they're just fantastic. And
they are nice people.
It took a little while to get everything dialed in and get them up and running, but just the life that it has brought to 3rd Street has been inspiring. I am so impressed and proud of them. And we also have Cherry City property management.
Okay.
Yeah, we get to see a lot of people pop into Farmstand to go visit with those folks.
Yeah.
And we are just finishing out the last unrented space in the building.
Yeah, is that the brown, kind of the okay, so it goes Farmstand's in the green.
Yes.
And then it goes kind of a brown, and then River City Saloon is in the white. So, okay, so and you put in the doors, you put, you created the doorway, the entryway into that. So
we got the awning up. We've just been getting things, insulated and dialed in. We've been a little bit distracted with other things, but that's probably going to be available to rent this winter. And so if you're interested in a space on that block with, it's about 3,000 square feet and very high ceilings. Give me a call.
Yeah, because that has the same ceilings that that the Farmstand has.
It doesn't have the drop, so it's actually significantly taller. We're just probably going to paint it and leave it because it looks awesome.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I got to go in there and take a look.
Yes, you should. If anyone wants a tour, pop in.
Yeah. All right. Well, wow, that you've kind of given us some coming events like the cocktail bar and that space being available. We'll have to see who lands there. Boy, how far out do you think as a business owner? Are you thinking out 5 years, 2 years? What's...
It depends on how overwhelmed I am at the moment. I think right now I am thinking in terms of, what needs we're still missing. Okay. I think with something like we have our natural pharmacy and we have our kitchen and we have the store, like where are the needs? Should we lean more into catering? Should we work on, customer loyalty program? Should we work more on, connecting folks in the health and wellness community with supplements so that they don't have to hold inventory? Like, what do folks most need? Events. Do folks need events? Do folks need us to close down our parking lot and do music? Like, what does the town need? And so I'm just working on that this fall, I think.
Okay. Yeah. That's good stuff.
Yes.
Connections, right? And and truly understanding your audience, right? Like it's a hard thing to know without asking a lot of questions and taking some time. So,
yes.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think we were just getting year one under our belt and doing what we know how to do as well as we can. And now it is, okay, what's next? How do we expand and grow? And my dad wants the expansion and growth to be more stores, but I'm still tired. So we'll wait a year or two on that.
Good for you.
Still taking naps.
Yeah. No, you need to recharge.
Yes.
Recharge.
Yes.
You can't do quality work without taking care of yourself first,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah. Or taking care of the locations we have and just making sure they're at as close to 100% as we can get them.
Yeah. Very good. Very good. Guten Tag, Robin.
Guten Tag, Tom.
Haben Sie Ihre Lederhosen?
Ja, ich habe ein Lederhose.
Dann komm mit mir zu Freebridge Brewing.
Das ist fantastisch.
That's right. Break out the Lederhosen and dirndls. It's Oktoberfest time at Freebridge Brewing in the Dalles. Join them on Saturday, September 20th for a full 10-hour celebration at 710 East 2nd Street. They're going all out with German lagers, crisp pilsners, and special festival beers. Bavarian food specials to pair with your pint, and contests like Hammerschlagen, a Steinholding showdown, and a best-dressed competition. Activities for the whole family. And that's not all. They'll be streaming the festival straight from Munich so you can raise a glass and celebrate with the world. So grab your friends and your steins and get ready to shout, Prost!
Prost!
At Freebridge Brewing's Oktoberfest. Don't miss it.
Ja.
Yeah. One of the other things that you brought up just a few minutes ago is like when you were talking about mentors and folks that have helped, like Mary Hanlon, who has a very interesting project on the boards right now in regards to the Griffith site location and a possible creation or building of a 116-unit apartment building with retail space on the bottom floor.
Which would be so great for downtown.
Yeah. And you've been an advocate for that, and not just only that, but like just kind of talking in general about because sometimes there's some pushback in regards to parking and things like that. But you've taken, I think, a good position, kind of a young store owner's position. You're like, parking, of course, is necessary, but also like we're not using currently what we have, and so. It seems like there is a group of vibrant young business owners downtown who are in favor of this and wanting to see the downtown district, develop further. And so I kind of said a mouthful there. I guess the question is where do you think the downtown's going? Where do you think the Dalles is headed to?
Downtown's I believe it's always a bit of a pendulum, and I think it is very much going up. And when you or maybe not a pendulum. I think that the scales have kind of tipped and we are very much kind of unstoppably developing our downtown because it is in the hands of so many small, passionate business owners. I'm a downtown girly. When I go to Eugene, when I go to Bend, when I go to Hood River or Portland, and I go to Portland, a couple times a month, I go find the downtown, and it takes a little while to find a place to park, and that's fine. And you find a place to park, and then you walk it. And when you are going to a restaurant, popping in a shop, you walk it. And downtowns really start to grow when they're walkable. And business owners really start to see traffic when it's walkable. And that is a habit that is gonna maybe die a little hard in the Dalles because we're used to it, like we were talking about before, being a speedway. And if you need flowers, then you want to pull over and get the parking spot right in front of Sigmund's. Or if you want whatever, look at furniture, you expect to be able to park right in front of Hamptons and want to complain if you walk half a block. But there is so much missed opportunity in, even people knowing what shops are there by that speedway. And if we can get people out of their cars and walking, if you are familiar with other downtowns, that's just what they are. And if you want to be able to pull into a parking lot, that's uptown a little bit.
Right. Well, fascinating. So you've been doing your research. I love that. The fact that you go and visit other small towns and you try and find the downtown corridor. You do find the downtown corridor and you walk them and you check them. You're like, okay, what's working here? What's,
it is annoying. If I have a dinner reservation in Portland and I have to drive around for 10 minutes, it is a bit stressful. And also it's wonderful to not just hop back in your car and go to the next place. And I've discovered so many places by by being on foot
Yeah.
and wandering around.
Oh, fascinating. Well, all sounds really good. Bodes well for the Dalles. And hey, is there anything I'm not asking you? Is there something out there that you wanna tell us about? Or well, I know one thing. I love this. You have a sister, Crystal,
Yes.
who is a baker, and I
Yes.
think she does pastries and cupcakes and all that. But her bread is wonderful. She does
I'm
the
so proud
sourdough.
of her. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she just turned 20, and she has been baking things since she was a young teenager, and she's really grown so much knowledge around sourdough. Azure actually just put on a huge Harvest Festival Homesteader Conference.
That was just last weekend.
Last weekend, about
Yeah.
2,000 people up there, and she gave like a demo and a talk up there about sourdough, and I was just sitting with my jaw on the ground, like my
Yeah.
tiny little teenage sister is educating me about proteins and flour. This is fantastic.
Yeah.
But if you guys have not been, she has a little bakery in Dufur now. They just opened up, and it was initially just supposed to be manufacturing to get a lot of bread out, so locally through stores like mine or
Yeah.
through Azure Standard. But she really pushed for a front of house, and she and her cousin, who's about the same age, are doing it together, and it is the cutest thing. They have a great menu. The prices are amazing.
Yeah.
And she is definitely one to check out, even if you have to make a special trip out there.
Right, and definitely worth it. And the Azure stores across the street, the old the grocery store there. Just a wonderful addition to Dufur, and especially in keeping a local grocer intact there. Just really good stuff. Fun, and you can get the bread, of course, at the Farmstand
Yes,
here in
you
the Dalles.
can.
Too. I always,
Yes.
that's where I go. But
She does her regular artisan loaves, and then she does a different flavor every week, and I'm just excited to see every week what she brings to us.
Yeah. Well, fantastic, Bets. It's just been a pleasure having you come in and chat a little bit with us about how the store's been going and the operations. I welcome you to come back again, give us updates if you'd like. But thanks for coming in today.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a really exciting couple of years, and it's nice to be able to share about them.
Awesome. Thanks.
Thank you.
Hey, if you're enjoying today's podcast with What's Up the Dalles, hey, please take a moment and go down and like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.